The first question from the audience, we asked our viewers to submit some questions. The first one comes from ADHD Media, very appropriate. They say they're of Viking descent and always wanted to visit Norway. What aspects of Norwegian culture do you feel influence your work as an artist and in general? By the way, you guys are amazing.
Oh, thank you. That's very sweet. Oh, that's a great question, honestly. I think, like, on a more, like, personal level, I would say just nature. I think it's very ingrained in our culture that, like, you go out in nature, you spend a lot of time in nature, and it's just having beautiful surroundings is just inspiring, I think, in itself, at least to me.
Yeah, it's a good answer.
But on a, like, cultural level?
I think it's the ability to lock yourself in a dark space for a long time.
Yes, the winter depression.
It's a strategic application of seasonal affective disorder.
Yeah. Don't talk to anyone. Just work on this project.
Yeah.
And somehow the salt makes it okay.
Yeah. That's how we cope,
make up for it.
It makes you feel alive.
That anise, that deep licorice. It's an interesting question, and one I haven't necessarily even thought about from an American perspective. I think that some of what happens on this channel is what has happened inside me and our team culturally, but also some of it's a resistance to that, right? There's some stuff I like about American culture and some stuff I don't.
Yeah.
I'm very conflicted about how much I like making guns. It's a super, right? I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
That's part of the culture, and it's interesting to me, and I am conflicted about it.
Making a sword doesn't mean you have to use it on someone,
This is true.
And it same applies.
This is
for
true.
guns,
That's why I make a lot more swords than I make guns.
But sometimes I feel, you said nature. And sometimes a lot of our projects are inspired by, like, what sort of cool shots could we get with it, like camera shots could we get with it in the end. And then sometimes we bring it out in nature and we climb a mountain and you dress up as a space marine on top of a mountain.
It makes it cooler to, like, be able to make something epic around the thing you made, and not just like, okay, you have a cool thing, but it's even cooler if you can bring it somewhere. You know?
Don't you think that, I mean, for me, I realized at a certain point that the wearing of the costume wasn't just the cool thing I got to do when I was done. It was the finishing piece of the costume that it got to be worn. So I imagine that when you're out there in the field, in the nature, displaying the thing, it's now fulfilling its purpose.
It is. It's like you're making justice, kind of, to the thing. You've spent weeks on this thing, or you're just gonna, like, stand there in the warehouse like, yes, it's very cool, thank you, and that's it. Like, no, you have to, like, show it off.
Are Norwegians very demonstrative in their affection, or are they reserved?
Oh. Definitely on the reserved side, I would say.
The greatest form of respect is to not talk to you.
Yes.
So, like, if you go onto the bus and you're like, you don't say hi to the guy on the bus, you just move to the back seat.
That's being a good citizen.
You're a great citizen.
You don't sit next to anyone on the bus. Are you insane? Like, if there are other seats, you move.
It's very stereotypical, though, and I don't think it's a great aspect of the culture.
No.
But I think it's partly true.
Yeah, I think it's like one of the things that is most ingrained in Norwegian culture. I think it's just we call it the law of jante. Janteloven. It's like the essence of it is, like, you shouldn't feel better than anyone else.
Right.
Everyone's like equal. Everyone's the same.
So we have a little bit of that in 2 states in the U.S. that I have visited, specifically Texas and Alaska.
Oh,
okay.
And in Texas and Alaska, being slightly famous, I've encountered this repeatedly, which is, I know who you are, but I'll leave you alone.
Yeah.
It even sometimes down to just like that, like they'll see me and do that. But it's very specifically, the ethos in each of those states is, we leave everyone alone.
Okay. So you don't get approached as much.
As much, states. No. Or I can see that I'm being clocked the same amount.
Okay.
But a lot of people are like, we'll just.
That's very interesting that
Yeah.
you can notice that culturally.
Yeah. That's interesting.
One of the funniest YouTube videos I saw in memory was about a year ago. They asked different cultures to imitate Americans. And there's these 2 Chinese ladies
I've seen that one.
that immediately go into this wah, 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 descriptive, and I'm like, I've never seen anything that's so skewered.
That's funny. Yeah.
I'm going to ask even a more specific one. And are there aspects of Norwegian culture that may that adjust or shift what choices of projects you make?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't think so. Usually we're guided just by what we want to do, and I think in many ways what we do is already kind of like fringe, like edge of society. Like what are these guys doing? So I think we stopped caring a long time ago. But
I think so. At least for like projects specifically, I think that's the case. But I think.
So you're more informed by the other YouTube channels, the other cultural stuff you encounter in art and engineering out there in the world.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think we're more influenced actually when it comes to the video production, because we're not that like. It's hard for us to take the camera on the streets and talk to people.
Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah, and I feel like that would be easier to do in like LA or something.
But it feels like you're imposing on the world. Like I don't want to.
It's really tricky. I have done a lot of that, and I have found it just as difficult to interrupt people and do all that. I recently did a job that I had to do 2 whole days of interviewing people on the street, and it went great. And it was because the production company had an amazing infrastructure. They had 2 really smart production assistants who were finding good people and talking to them, getting them warmed up, and then they'd come to us and they'd be like, they'd love to talk about this part of their thing and that. And that made it really easy because everyone I was interviewing was ready to talk.
Yeah.
As
and
opposed
then,
to me figuring out who might be ready to talk.
And not like attacking someone without them being ready.
Yes, I don't want to be attacked when I'm not ready.
Do you want to be attacked when you're ready?
Well, no, but also, actually, I'm sure you have gone to an event and someone's just come out with a camera and said, how's it going?
That happens.
You got to be like, hey, man, I'm on the clock or I'm off the clock, but not right now.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to handle that too, because like, you don't want to be dismissive either, because they're excited, obviously, and but it's tough.
You talked about, I think, on a stream having a bad guy for you that shuts down that.
You can have all sorts of people running interference for you, and the stink won't rub off on you for the most part. Nobody on my team is ever nasty. They're never angry. They're just gentle and firm.
And I think people in general are very understanding too. Like they can see, okay, if you've been talking to people for a long time or something, like people understand that people get tired, you know?
There was this one moment when my wife, this is early on, this is way back when, 2007, something like that. I'm very famous for a while. And my wife goes, look, I know you have to be nice to everybody, but do I? And I thought about it and I was like, I don't think so. I don't think if I was known for having a crazy bitchy wife, that would rub off on me. I think people would just.
That's an amazing thought from her, though.
She is not above turning around and just handing me a phone and going, "Your lawyer is calling," to get me out of a situation.
That's great.
She's really good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Okay, there's one I highlighted here because I wanted to ask. Oh no, that's a little later. Oh yeah, here we go. The great Brandino says. They've been a big fan since you customized the PC case for Linus. What do you do with your larger projects after the video has been released? Big problem for us too.
Yeah.
That is a big problem. We do have a warehouse.
You have is it absolutely full already?
It is getting clogged.
It's
getting clogged with projects.
Because we're lucky to have the warehouse, because then we have like one massive rack where we have stored some of our biggest stuff. But it's
We always seek to do projects if they can have a role somewhere else.
Right.
So if we can display it somewhere, it does actually increase my excitement for the project, because then it has like more of a purpose. Sometimes we just want to build a thing and then we're just going to build a thing. But if it has somewhere nice to stand and people are going to be looking at it, it does feel a little bit better. Yeah. Because we do have a few dioramas that are collecting dust, but we're not going to give them away because we are attached to it and we want to shoot on it. Or
also sometimes you have a piece it looks done for camera, but it's still half done. And what are you going to give someone else your half-done project?
Yeah, no. And also the backside looks really bad. And we don't have to talk about that.
The front looks perfect, but instead of a switch, it's 2 wires you rub together to make it go, right?
You don't have to call us out like that. Come on.
People who know who they know.
Plastic Arcade says, as a jack of all trades, not focusing on one discipline, how do you guys see a project through and keep focused? I.e., how do you not get bored or distracted before it's completed? Sometimes a project for them ends up in their box of shame unfinished.
That is a great question. I think it's definitely a big benefit to have deadlines, at least for me.
I totally agree. Deadlines are magic.
I know, like, I think that's the single most thing that have made me be able to just finish stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you have to deliver something, and now that it's our full-time job, it's like, okay, well, nothing's gonna happen if we don't actually do it. You know, no one's paying us if we're not working.
Well, also, here's the project, and here's all the ways it could go. And the question you're asking yourself about which way to go could be any of these. But as soon as I put 4 o'clock here, I can chop off all of these branches
The
in
fastest
favor
one,
of
just
what
go.
gets done by 4
Exactly.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pressure, outside pressure.
I also want to submit not to call it a box of shame.
Yes.
Like, everybody has a drawer in their kitchen that is like the drawer that everything goes into. And I've heard it called a shame drawer. And I'm like, no. Life is a tile puzzle, and some of the tiles get full.
Yeah.
Definitely. No, I totally agree. And we talked about this a while ago. It's like some projects that, especially like the half-done ones, and you have the box of shame, they can feel like just a burden, a block on your creativity. Like a while ago, I had this painting that I'd spent like 50 hours on. I did not want to finish it. I kind of hated it. I was like, it was such a sunken cost thing. I was like, but I have to. And Hansi was like, but Martina, you can't throw it away. I was like, no.
He's right.
I didn't have that realization on my own, but when he told me, it was like a whole new world unlocked. I was
You had to give.
I can throw it away.
Yeah, because you kept blocking yourself. You didn't paint for
Yeah.
weeks on weeks because you didn't
Yeah.
want to paint that thing.
Yeah.
But I knew you wanted to paint.
Yeah.
So instead of forcing that issue,
Yeah.
just move on.
It was
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
nice, and that advice just it moved me over that block totally.
I
It felt so bad to throw it away, but it was a
But he brought you all the way to the existential crisis.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Right?
Deep in the pit.
Look, it's binary at a certain point. You're going to toss it or not. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I wanted to briefly mention that you could become a tested member. I know, everybody is competing for you to become a member of their thing. What I want to express to you is that the Tested membership has become such an important part of the Tested family. We get tremendous feedback from the Tested members, and they expand the stories that we can tell and the things that we have access to. And you can become a part of it right now by clicking on the link below. See you in the chat.